It's 1:57 a.m. on September 18th, 2020. 2 years ago, I contacted Interpol. I had been following a series of reports that I believe were in some way, shape, or form connected to a completely questionable alleged response I had received from the Texas State Commission on Judicial Conduct. And my understanding was that events in my life had somehow been used for deals connected to educational projects or educational projects in Africa. This went all the way back to the beginning of 2018 when there was an announcement of a scholarship fund provided by Lockheed Martin that cross referenced with, at the time, first it was reported 13 and then later reported 14 uh, centers in Nigeria specifically, but in that part of Africa more generally, that were supported through a nonprofit organization that was based out of Ireland. And that Lockheed Martin had sponsored a scholarship that was connected to a program that was working in Nigeria with this group. I was concerned it was doing something similar to what I had observed, which was that people that thought they were doing some sort of Christian service or thought they were doing some sort of volunteer work to help out homeless people, including refugees or survivors of some sort of violence, domestic, as in that's domestic to their country, and or actually experiencing domestic violence in their country, were being put into centers and harvested for R&D in Nigeria, similar to what I had observed in Texas. And that Lockheed Martin was sponsoring scholarships to sign young people up as part of the R&D in one manner or another. You might get to be one of those young people that gets observed and gets experimented on to develop the R&D for another young person that got the scholarship and gets you as their test subject. This was around the time when I was talking to people who were literally working in the biomed and biotechnology sector that were talking about, oh, don't worry about HIPAA. Yeah, I mean, we change the terms all the time, and we swap out what we're doing all the time. We don't need to tell them. So around this time, there was a series of things connected to my identity. There was an announcement of a specific kind of educational conference in South Africa. And this was in the course of a number of things that related to my life when I was a child or that when I was going to high school that kept being swapped out or leveraged in connection with events in other countries, at that time, specifically in Africa. There were a number of correlations, including correlations in connection with the shooting that took place in San Diego that impacted a synagogue, where moments in my life that had been characterized in a very extreme liability would occur. Somebody would end up dying in a tragic incident that would be reported publicly, usually involving a holy site, and then within the next 48 hours there would be a big scholarship announcement or a big announcement for some sort of educational fund or program specifically involving Africans or involving African Americans via some connection to Africa. This was going on the entire year of 2018. And part of what I was trying to have acknowledged, and part of 2019 as well, I was tracking this and trying to report on it. And so 2 years ago today, I sent a report to Interpol about this and other related matters. So I'm just going to start benchmarking my reports and just giving some context. I do my own work. I don't know who thinks they see. I don't get any acknowledgement, by the way. Just so you know, I don't get any acknowledgement to anybody who watches my Facebook. I don't get any responses. I don't get any comments. I get stuff that seems like it's like spam. And now in the last couple of weeks, in the last week or so, it's been in Russian. The names, the little bots are in Cyrillic. They're not Russian. It's somebody else that's using Cyrillic, probably because they're actually doing some kind of money laundering through a Russian account. But my understanding is that those are Russian accounts connected to actual Americans that are involved in election campaigns. A.e. Again, we're going through another round where Americans that are running for public office are lying and trying to blame their acts of money laundering and extortion and strong arming their political opposition on some other country like Russia, like China, like they did in 2016 and like they did in 2018. And they're doing the same thing now. At the same time, Russia is doing of a whole bunch of stuff, and I have contended for a considerable amount of time. We are now over 2 months, over a year, when Russia made a very, very significant public announcement that had a 6 month timeline. And in the course of that 6 month timeline coming up, that 1 month before that 6 month timeline was to be met, and 6 months has a very, very significant importance when it comes to international financial relationships. 1 month before that, there was a phone call between Putin and Trump. And to this day, nobody has talked about what that meant. And nobody has talked about the events that were going on exactly a year before, when for a short time the White House had an executive proclamation concerning the New START treaty that is no longer available. I'm really getting fucking tired of you making me the middle aged white woman fucking Russian nuke and not even fucking acknowledging it. You did that, guys. That's why I'm in Dallas right now. That's why you coded me to the 24 for the HUD budget. That's why you flipped it to the 26. And that's why, still to this day, you won't acknowledge. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Are you the neocons aping like you're part of some revolutionary vanguard? Or are you the Democrats lining up to be a part of a global warlord volleyball game under some sort of oligarchical paradigm that you're going to try to mask under universal Medicare for all? I just want you to identify which side are you on. Don't talk about the parties. Don't even talk about nation states. That seems to be obsolete. Are you going for revolutionary vanguard of the imposed bastardization of communism? Or are you going for a pre-capitalist form of feudalism where you get to play the role of some sort of imperial madame or monsieur in some sort of oligarchia that you're setting up? Just get it straight, and just get straight with us, because we're over a year on that deal, which was a weapons deal. And the time is running out. And I'm really sick and tired of brokering deals for you guys when you won't even give me confirmation. And it just continues to accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. Don't make any more fucking pretenses that you give a shit about national security. Your proto-national exploitation of everybody has become so fucking bankrupt that I literally feel like I'm the only person still paying attention, and I must be, because you literally won't give me anybody else to talk to.